This video and its content has been rated G for general audiences, exported by LumaFusion, published to YouTube, and has been given the annual support from viewers like you.
Thomas the Tank Engine's rolling along. All of his friends will be coming along. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you.
Well, looks like this winter's made Gordon feel regret, making his boiler run cold, quite literally. But after a few days of recovering from being stuck in the snow all night and staying in the warm steam arcs, he returned to pulling the express. And for the next 2 months, things for him were going great. But then in late February, he was invited to the mainland to visit one of his favorite engines on his 100th birthday, the Flying Scotsman, his younger sibling. But now, he has finally returned home. Even Edward and Henry were at the celebration.
Welcome back, Gordon.
Even I missed you.
So tell me, how was your time at the National Railway Museum?
It was quite marvelous, but I'm glad to be home with you all.
Makes me regret calling Thomas a museum piece years ago.
And Gordon wasn't the only one gone, for when Thomas was taking a stone train from the Ffarquar Court to Ulster Castle, he saw Spencer being greeted by the Earl. He had been with Gordon in the Flying Scotsman in York, with permission by the Duke and Duchess, of course, since he was an A1.
Look out, little engines! Make way for the most important engine on the island, following the footsteps of his brother Mallard.
For goodness sake, Spencer. Everyone is just as important as you are on this island.
But not as famous as me.
Ugh, be quiet.
Sometime after the events, it was an ordinary morning at Elsbridge, but Gordon still talked about his brother like a great deal, which he was.
Right on time, making Scott and Sir Nigel proud of me, as I am one of the only famous Doncaster steam engines left on this planet.
All right, Gordon, that's enough. We've got work to do. And quit being sarcastic.
Oh, you little engines will never understand how amazing it was speeding fast towards the mainland from Vickerstown, while you were stuck on your little branch line.
At this point, Thomas was so furious that he blew some hot steam into the air.
What the?
Enough! Now you listen to me, you big sausage. My branch line may be small, but to me and my coaches, it's one of the most important parts of the railway. And technically, I'm older than you! Number 4-year-old Caillou.
But
Haven't you learned anything from your accident last winter? You're acting just as bad as your cousin at the castle.
But before Gordon could reply, Thomas huffed away. Now, of course, Gordon was only teasing him, but even so, Thomas has worked on the Ffarquar branchline with his coaches for many years, and it's one of their favorite parts of the island. Thomas and Gordon didn't speak to each other for the rest of the day. Regardless, they got on with their own work without any confusion or delay. Eventually, the whole ordeal died down, but that was soon about to change. Just beyond Knapford Station was a junction in an industrial area on the main line. One direction, going straight, continued down the main line, while the other led down the Ffarquar branch, just after the bus depot where Bertie lived. And of course, where the two friends started their first ever big race. During the following morning, Thomas stopped at the junction with Annie and Clarabelle, as he whistled to the signalman for him to change the points. However, with the feud at Elsbridge still lingering in his mind, the cheeky little engine gained a naughty idea. An idea to get back at Gordon for teasing him.
Thomas, what's so funny?
Oh, nothing.
Very well then.
Thomas made his usual branch line run to Ffarquar, and then went along the loop line for his return trip to Knapford. When he got back, Sir Tom Hatt was waiting. He had an assignment for him.
after filling up on more coal and water, I want you to head to Ffarquar Quarry. There's a train full of stone that needs to be taken to Knapford Harbor. Then, come back here. The yards here need an extra station pilot to organize the trains coming in and out of this station.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and you're going to have to move out of the main line for Gordon's afternoon express at the bus junction as soon as you leave the harbor.
All right, sir. More like the opposite.
So Thomas went along his branchline to Ffarquar, but they were on the loop to back up into the quarry.
You're good to go, Thomas.
So Thomas set off, chuckling at his so-called clever plan, but he didn't realize how high the Enofa River was. Soon enough, Thomas had delivered his trucks to Knapford Harbor and made his way back to the junction near the bus depot. He was on the track that Gordon was going to come through, and when he heard his whistle, he looked at the signal box and whistled loud and long.
Help! I'm a runaway!
Huh?
Points!
Right. The signalman switched the points, and Thomas ran away, just before Gordon rumbled over the rail crossing and turned onto Thomas's branch line. Thomas had witnessed everything, and laughed so hard he thought his boiler would explode. He laughed all the way to Knapford Yards. Adam was just helping out around the yards when Thomas arrived, chuckling. Hey Thomas, what's so funny?
Oh, nothing, Adam.
Okay. Well, anyways, glad you've come to help out. I've been called as well from Vickerstown, and I've just shunted Gordon's coaches. Okay, what's going on with you?
You're not gonna believe this, but I sent Gordon somewhere undignified.
And Thomas told Adam about what Gordon said.
And then I whistled to the signalman pretending to be a runaway before Gordon arrived. And the next thing I knew, he was switched onto my branch line.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Since Gordon wants to talk rubbish about my branch line, I figured, why not have him experience it for once? It's what he gets to putting his brother and himself over me.
Thomas, what were you thinking?
Huh?
Do you not remember the last two incidents he's had at Wellsworth?
You mean in the book Wrong Road? And when he took a tumble?
Exactly! So Tom Hat doesn't allow big engines to go across the bridges on you and Edward's branch line at fast speeds. Plus, think of the passengers! You have no idea how many have said horrible things about this railway!
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Man, I never thought I'd be saying this, but you are such a puffing idiot! I'm talking to Tom Hat right now!
Adam, wait!
Bruh, leave me alone!
What have I done?
Meanwhile, Gordon was puffing along the branch line, not even knowing he was on it. But then, he started seeing some unfamiliar places to him. The section where Thomas got bumped, Ruth's workshop, dry-off, Farm the Coals, and the dry-off facility and sports halls.
What the? This isn't part of the main line? And why are there only 2 tracks?
His confusion turned into worry for both him and his crew, so they stopped at Elsbridge while the guard told the passengers about the confusion. They were annoyed, but understood.
Are you lost?
Not sure. I must have been sent down the wrong line by mistake.
Here, let your crew come into my office so we can sort this out.
As the crew and station master left, Gordon looked around and realized he was at Elsbridge on the branch line section.
What the? Ugh.
Hey, get back here!
Gordon sped along the Ffarquar branch line, now petrified. He sped through Ffarquar and was heading towards the river bridge, where once again, the stream had turned into a torrent. The bridge wasn't broken, but wasn't going to be able to handle Gordon's weight with the water. Furthermore, the big engine was heading straight towards Toby.
Gordon, stop!
Luckily, Gordon stopped just in the nick of time, but was now stuck on the wooden bridge, about to fall into the water. The bridge couldn't hold his weight, and the waves started getting closer and closer.
Oh, crud. If I don't get off this bridge, I'm gonna hit more rocks than that stone Paxton threw at me.
Don't worry, Gordon. I'll help you.
So Toby pulled Gordon off the bridge, just in time.
Are you okay?
I am now. Thank you, Toby.
Say, what are you doing here? Shouldn't be on the main line before you need express.
Honestly, Toby, I have no idea. I think I was diverted here by mistake. This is the 3rd time I've messed up on a branch line.
Don't worry, Gordon. Accidents happen. But do you know how you got here?
Well, all I remember is seeing a glimpse of Thomas on my line rolling away quickly before I got here.
Funny you mention that, because yesterday I saw Thomas explain about your silly argument.
Man, I wish I could get revenge on him somehow.
Don't say that. I'm sure you didn't mean it.
Wait, does this mean
I hate to say it, but I think he's responsible.
Thomas! I will speak to you later.
Ferdinand was called from Misty Island to bring Rocky and some Joby wood to fix the bridge. The quarry route was closed until further notice, and the Ffarquar residents that had to go to the quarry were rerouted to go through the Ulstead branch line instead.
Well, at least I work around here most of the time.
Rebecca took Gordon's express the rest of the way, leaving him sitting in Knapford Yards where Thomas apologized to him. And after hearing from his point of view of the argument, Gordon just let out a deep sigh.
It's all right, Thomas. I'm sorry I upset you and insulted your work in any way.
It's okay. I've got no one else to blame but myself.
Well, you know what? I've been thinking long and hard about your apology, and
What is it?
it was honestly kind of interesting seeing new locations from the bridge to back here on the return trip in a more calm way. I'm always going down the same old main line, so it's nice to have a change every once in a while.
Glad you see it that way.
We may have had a minor hiccup, but I know we will always keep our promise from 1953. United we stand, together we fall.
You help me, and I'll help you.
Exactly.
Well, glad I got some reassurance, but it still doesn't change the fact that I'm about to face Sir Topham Hatt.
Thomas, I am extremely disappointed in you. Adam told me everything. I understand where you're coming from, but that's no excuse to play a joke that's not only stressful for Gordon, but everyone else as well. You should know by now that the bridges on your branch line are not safe for engines at a certain size.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll do everything I can to make up for it by helping to fix the bridge in some way.
Actually, Thomas, I have another idea.
Huh?
Because you sent Gordon down a part of the island not made for him, I'm going to send you to a branch line as well, leading to a location near Peel Godred, which stinks. You will remain at this yard for an entire month, and you are not allowed to leave under any circumstances.
Sir, which location are you talking about?
I'm sending you to work at...
Whiff's Waste Dump?
Sorry, Thomas, but I'm afraid complaining will make your punishment longer. Though it's not for me and Scruff to have some help around here.
Well, can't I at least take some of those rubbish trucks to the docks for you?
Sorry, Thomas, but you and I both know the Thomas House rule about remaining here.
Why, Gordon and Adam? Why?
Thomas the Tank Engine's rolling along. All of his friends will be coming along. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you.
He saw Spencer being greeted by the Earl. He had been with